Welcome to the project, guys. I'm Colby, and today's project is quite a bit of fun. So in a few weeks, I'm gonna teach the local youth group. They're gonna come to my house and we're gonna teach them how to drive stick. And the reason we're coming here is because I do sim racing. So I'm hoping, and I've done this before, but I'm hoping to use my sim racing rig to then have them jump in BeamNG and be able to practice using the clutch and shift and all of that. But to get there, there's a few hurdles. So first off, I don't really have a good screen out in the garage, and I'd love to have them in the garage because, you know, our house is tiny and who doesn't like spending time in the garage? So first thing is the screen. Back when me and Sammy were first married and I was a poor college student, this was our TV screen. 1080p, and it honestly hasn't seen really any use in the last few years. So thinking, you know, what's better for sim racing than a 110-inch screen, right? I want to set this up in the garage. We have our projector screen right there, and I honestly think right here will be perfect. That's the screen. So we need to solve the screen, and then we need to solve computers. I got this computer and I fixed it up, and it's like my garage computer. I think we used it a little bit in fixing the shifter the other video. But when I went to go test the shifter, it died, or at least the fans were on like 100%. And I narrowed it down to the power supply, and so I couldn't exactly figure out what was wrong, or it's not worth it. So I bought a new power supply, a new used power supply, and I put it in, and it was buzzing really bad, like to the point where I didn't even want to turn it on. In talking with the seller, they actually agreed to send me another power supply, which was really great of them because that one did work, but like the buzzing was so bad it didn't. And they were really nice and actually sent me this replacement, and I have tested it a little bit and it doesn't buzz nearly as bad. So fix the power supply to fix the computer, put up the screen, and now we're almost ready to go. But the other thing that's playing into this is I actually ordered an 80/20 profile rig. I'll show you what I've been using, and you guys kind of have seen in the other videos. So this is a huge step, and I'm really excited for the 80/20 rig. And as I've been going along, I've been trying to find things broken, fix it up, and get it, like, you know, get it working. So that way, in the end, I'm hoping to have like 2 rigs. So I've been like accumulating equipment in the hopes that I can eventually build 2 rigs. Well, that day, I think, has finally come. So the 80 profile rig hasn't been shipped yet, but should be here soon. But I think for this setup of teaching them how to drive stick, what I'm probably gonna do is preemptively disassemble the Playseat Challenge, put all my secondary equipment like this, which you guys haven't, I don't think I videoed this, but I actually rebuilt the motor, almost legitimately rebuilt the entire motor in this Club Sport wheelbase. So yeah, we're gonna do Club Sport wheelbase. I've got CSL pedals, and we're gonna put it onto that. I do have enough shifters, so I think I'm gonna leave the shifter stuff the same on there, but we do need to make that whole transition. So then hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have 110-inch screen, running BeamNG on here with a sim rig with all the secondary components that I've been building up. So let's get to it. So first, I think we're gonna mount up the screen and get that whole thing wired up and try to get that going. Well, actually, before that, let's see how this power supply does, right? Okay, so let's see if we can get this up and running. Get these power supplies out of the way. If you guys didn't know, these Dell workstations are actually engineered quite well. I mean, the whole power supply just kind of like pulls out with this tab, and you can push this button to test it. So like right here, I can plug in power and then hit it to test it. And look, it's doing just fine. I'll show you what this other one does. So this is like the original one that I broke, and when I go to test it, it does like an error code and the fans go like 100%. This one, when it's under load, it buzzes really bad. Do you hear that buzzing? Yeah, not good. So, finally, take 3. Oh, that's nice. So these power supplies and this entire system here is actually really modular, and I really like it. So all you got to do to install the power supply, and they just have a PCB mounted traces here that are contacts. And so all you do is come in here like that, and then you can plug in power and it should work. So that was the easy step. And already, I mean, that sounds way better. So we'll let that kind of boot up and see how it does. And let's get to the screen. So you will notice that the rest of this video, we had troubles with audio, so I'm going to voice over quite a bit of this. But essentially, to put up the screen, I found these light bar brackets that I had sitting around. They're kind of tiny, but I think they should work. So we're just going to put the screw in through the top and then hook it through the bottom right there that I'm pointing to. And I don't think they'll break, or at least they haven't broken yet. But so putting up the screen, the important things is it needs to be far enough away, but I also need it to land on a rafter. So you can see there's one rafter there on that seam, and I think that's going to be good for the screen. So we'll try putting it there and see how it goes. Okay, so the brackets actually worked out pretty well, but as you probably saw me measuring there, when you pull the screen down, it's actually way too high. And so we need to bring the whole screen down. We need to make extensions from there. And so I've got some baling wire, and let's see if we can make something work out. Okay, so the projector is finally mounted up, and you can see it looks pretty decent. You know, that looks pretty good. It doesn't necessarily fill up the whole screen, and the issue is the projector is like right up against the roof, and we had to drop the screen down low, and this projector is just not meant to be in this situation. I also have the screen, like the options I do have are like zoom and focus, and I have this zoomed in as much as possible so that the projector can be as close as possible, but then it makes the angle between the screen and the projector not that good. So you can see the screen, the edge of the screen and the edge of the backdrop that it's hitting against, they're not parallel. And there's nothing I can really do about that, but I think it's pretty decent. I mean, look, that looks pretty good. So we'll call it good there, and the next step is getting the chair unmounted, getting the chair disassembled and brought in here. So let's get to it. All right, so here it is in all its glory, a play seat challenge taken to the max. I don't think I'm ever going to build this up as much before. So this is the last time you'll see it like this. We got the inverted pedals on there, CSL DD. I've put on speakers. I've made a brace for it. And if you saw the last video, we made this whole shifter mount setup, which has been working awesome. I even, made these custom brackets for some speakers with a subwoofer. And then recently I've tried this, doing a 32-inch screen that I mounted it to the same plate, and then a little stabilizing bracket to the CSL DD there. And like, it's pretty secure to itself, but the whole thing is pivoting. So what we need to do here is take off the DD, take off the Club Sport pedals, take off the screen, take off the speakers, really just bring it back to basics for this. And then we're gonna put on the Club Sport 2.5 wheelbase with CSL Elite or CSL pedals on there. So let's get to it. We'll see if we can take apart a whole sim rig with an iFixit kit. So here is the final form as of right now, at least. Obviously, I put it up on tires. So what happened is I was playing around with all of the field of view settings and everything, and when it was on the ground, I couldn't get it to be any, like the limits of where I could adjust the view in BeamNG wasn't enough, because you know, this is like the middle of the screen here, but I need like the hood to be way down here, and so to get it to kind of feel normal while driving, I had to bring it up, and we have these Crosstrek tires sitting around. So I zip tied it. Yes, it looks a little ghetto, but it works. And with the angle being so extreme, yeah, we have a little bit of tilt in here, but it means you get like the full screen, even with the wheelbase being this close. So I think this is gonna be perfect for teaching them how to drive stick. I've actually already had some of my cousins over to drive it, and they seem to really enjoy it. And honestly, it's fun. I don't know what it is, but a screen this big, like, it just feels so fun. VR is great, but BeamNG can't do VR, so this is awesome. I don't want to blab too much. I think you guys want to see it in action a little bit, so let me set up the camera and get you some driving shots of it. Not saying I'm going to be driving that well. I haven't driven my sim rig in quite a while. We've been too busy with other projects, but... Oh, the road was over here. Oh, I hit a rock. Oh. Wait. What tire is that? I'm missing a tire. Or is it spare? Oh, that's the spare tire. I got all my tires, so I just ripped off my spare. All right, go to a stick shift car. I can't see. Aha. Whoa. There goes the suspension. Well, I think that'll do it. Oh my God. Oh man. That will do it for this project. I think we've made great progress. It's a lot of fun. I wish you guys could come and drive it because it's quite the experience, and it was quite fun. So some of the downsides of this is, of course, it's in the way, but also with like such a long cord, when this shakes, it's like all over the place. It shakes for a long time, and if you're not careful, you can bump the bottom of it and get it to shake because it's so close to the pedals down there. But all in all, it's a lot of fun. One of the best Beam experiences I've had so far. So grateful you guys could come on this project with us. Hope you all subscribe and hit that thumbs up or like comment. You know, I honestly love seeing comments. So let me know what you think of this. Anyways, that'll be it for this project, and we'll see you next time. Bye.